Okay, well, today's kind of been a little bit of a roller coaster ride for me when it comes to the cleanup crew, because they came out here this morning, they worked for like 2 hours, did this, looks great, and then they're left, they gone, their machine's gone. And I'm like, I come back out, because I was in the house with kids all day, and I come out here and look at things, and first thing I notice is this big, huge piece of wood in the garbage pile that I would have thought would have been moved over there to the salvageable wood. I'm like, what's going on here? And then I look over here, there's still like 4 or 5 trees that are down that weren't cleaned up or moved. And I'm like, their machine's gone. That could have helped clean that stuff up. What's the deal? Whatever. I know that they have their auditors come out and look at their work, and then if something's not right, they get flagged. So I'm like, okay, well, yesterday the foreman told me that it was going to be a half crew because he had to go to another job, so it was going to be half crew out here today, and then they'd be back in 4 days. Okay, well, they'll either be back in 4 days or they'll get audited and have to come back out here and do this stuff, right? So the next thing I know, the grappler truck is here. That's the truck with the crane on it, picks the stuff up, puts it in the truck, it compresses it, takes it out to the wood chipper at their headquarters. So I come out and I'm talking to those guys, just making sure that everybody's on the same page, because as far as I know, they just come out, they see a big pile of stuff, they pick it up and they take it away. There's no discretion. I don't know. I just want to make sure, hey, you guys know that there's a difference between the brush and the logs that are going to be used for lumber, right? Okay. So they're like, yeah, that's cool. We're on the same page. And then I ask them, do you guys have any idea what's happening with the skid steer guys? Because there's this pile here in the back of the property that I don't know you want to get to it yet, because I'm not sure that it's done, and they still got some trees over here. So they say, well, we'll have the boss man come over here and talk to you. Okay, so next thing I know, the big boss man's here, and he tells me that they had an incident with one of their skid steers somewhere way away from here. It had nothing to do with anything in the area, but on another job site, they had somebody driving one of those skid steers and they flipped it over. And what happened was, it looked like they high centered it on a rock or something and flipped it over. So he had to shut down the utility company. He's a subcontractor. The utility company made him shut down all those machines. So they had to pull all their machines off the job, probably go have a big safety meeting or something like that. I don't know, but he had to stop all the work that was being done to that. So his conversation with me was he hadn't forgotten about me. I'm on his mind. He knows what's going on, and he even said that he knows there's still 5 trees out here that need to be picked up. Totally on the ball with everything. So that made me feel real comfortable about it all, just because it's like I've said before, the right hand's not talking to the left, but this guy's got it under control, and it was nice to like know that. So long story short, the guys they had like a half day out here. They're going to be out here in 4 more days to finish this up, and the grappler truck has started picking stuff up. They've got a couple of trips, and probably some point in another 6-7 days, I should be getting a delivery of wood chips. So everything's going good. Yeah, it's a little loud in here in the greenhouse, but I want to say it's only been a couple of days since I did this. Add an iron to the aquaponics system, and there's a lot of stuff in here I need to pull, but what's in here, I can already tell that adding the iron has definitely been a beneficial thing, because it's really greened up in here. I mean, I know you see a lot of like that, looks bad, but overall this stuff is greened up really good, really fast. Out here in the garden, things are looking good. I had that second frost and I was like, oh, what is gonna happen from that? But things are looking pretty decent. Tomatoes are starting to form on these tomato plants. These are yellow pears. This is where I'm really noticing them, is on the yellow pears, but something growing is something growing. The tomato plants, all in all, I feel like they're all looking pretty well. And my ground cherries, I feel like the ground cherries are starting to break out of the root ball that they were in. They're starting to show some growth, so I'm happy with that. My zucchinis, I don't know, they're there. Haven't really noticed too much growth in those. The tomatillos kind of about the same. I feel like they're kind of at a stalemate. Kind of the same thing with the watermelon. I noticed a little bit of growth with the watermelon, but it's starting to get really hot here, so I would imagine these things are just gonna boom here out of nowhere pretty quick. The weather has definitely changed. I mean, we went from 30 degrees 2 weeks ago to now it's like 90 degrees on average. It's gotten hot, and it's gotten hot fast. Now my cucumbers, they definitely got hit in a negative way with that frost, but I feel like everything is starting. I'm seeing growth on the cucumbers. Bottom line, I'm seeing lots of growth on the cucumbers. Yeah, there's some bad spots, but I think what green I'm seeing far outweighs the bad. And I'm putting them, starting to trellis them up on these hog panels here. So I'm noticing lots of growth with the cucumbers, even though they look bad. That's just old scars, old battle wounds, but they're getting over it. And obviously, weeding is a constant issue here. These guys are tomatillos, all volunteer tomatillos. I planted tomatillos in this bed last year, and when I was doing some earlier weeding with the hula hoe, I just annihilated the stuff in here. I knew that I had a bunch of them coming up, and I just got rid of everything for keep it all looking clean. But these guys are coming back with a force. They do not want to go away. So I'm just gonna let these go. They're looking better. These volunteers are looking better, as far as I'm concerned, than the ones that I planted by seed. So I'm just gonna go with it, see what they do. My stuff over here on the trellises, the snake gourds and honeydews, cantaloupe, they're showing some growth. So all in all, things are looking good out here in the garden. I sure thought I would be a lot further ahead than I am. Seeing people across the other side of the country, I should be like miles ahead of them, and it's totally the opposite way around. But that second frost just threw me for a loop. That first frost threw me for a loop, but the garden's doing good. Things are progressing, and things are looking good out here. So that's my update for today, guys. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow.